Hello and welcome to Get Creative. I'm Evan Schmidt. Thanks for listening. My guest today is Allan Durand of Spare Change Productions. Hey Allan, thanks for coming on the show today. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm Allan Durand. I handle the operations for Spare Change Productions, as well as film Allan's travel vlog, or like we call it, ATV. It's another segment that we have that lives on our YouTube page. I was fortunate to stumble upon Josh a year ago on the street while he was busking for Spare Change, and have eagerly grown with my involvement in the production company since then.
Nice. So as a producer, a creative, and we'll get more of that stuff later, but what's something really good that you've learned?
Something really good that I've learned? Two things, really. The first one is how just like a spur of the moment idea can really transform into something huge. Spare Change just started with Josh and another guy, Pete, playing music on the side of the road, and they gave all their money at the end of that session to like a homeless person that they had been like playing near, and then just they saw the reaction on that person's face, and Josh was like, all right, we can make this bigger, we can get that reaction on a bigger scale for nonprofits. So that was like the first lesson, like, you never know where you're going to be and what you're doing, and have a great idea. And then I also learned about all the great nonprofits in the Pittsburgh area and even outside of Pittsburgh that I would have had no idea about had it not been for Spare Change. One of those would be the Best of the Batch Foundation over in Homestead. They do reading computer literacy. I had no idea about them until we did our 11th episode in December, which benefited the Best of the Batch Foundation. There's Horses for Heroes in Ohio. It's a horse farm that helps veterans with PTSD kind of work with that, and it's a therapy sort of thing, equine therapy. And then there's Acres Project, which is the subject of episode 8, up in State College, and it's a home, like a group home for adults with autism, and they've really benefited from their Spare Change episode, which was amazing, just to see the community response to that episode.
Nice. So you talked a little bit about Spare Change. Tell us more about it. What's the full pitch?
So the full pitch for Spare Change is you have Spare Change Productions, like the parent company, and then you have Spare Change, the web series. And Spare Change, the web series, is our main vessel, and we go out and we unite businesses and nonprofits through music and storytelling. So you find a nonprofit, which my favorite example is episode 10 with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. We went to their one walk in Greensburg at Pitt Greensburg, and they did a big walk for juvenile diabetes research, and everyone raised money, and like the campus was really involved. And then we went out into the community, and we had businesses that gave donation money to be featured in our episode, and that benefited JDRF on top of the one walk money. And then John Reese, one of Josh's friends, whose daughter has juvenile diabetes type 1, he came out and he talked to us and explained how it affects his life and his daughter's life, and how you just really have to be on top of it, and what JDRF is doing to help people with juvenile diabetes and their family. So it's just really cool to see that all come together. And then we went out into Greensburg and we played music on the side of the street. I have zero musical talents. I played the clipboard, but I was there to help film, take pictures, interact with people while the guys were playing. And we raised $100 in like a few hours playing on the side of the road and in a few bars following one of the bar crawls that night.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool. And where can people find this and you?
So you can find us on all the major social media outlets. Twitter is the only different one. Twitter is at Spare Change. And then Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is at Spare Change TV. And you can find it all there.
Well, Allan, it's so inspiring to hear your guys' story and what you're doing, and it's just so cool. I think it's so cool. So thank you for coming on the show today and getting creative with us.
Hey, not a problem. If you guys want to read more about like what goes into an episode or about my travels for ATV, you can go on to sparechange.tv. We have a blog section, and my Cuba trip is coming out here in a few weeks.
That's it for another episode of Get Creative. You can find more information about my guest in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe so that you get the next episode in your sleep, and please give the show a review. For more information about me, go to evanschmidt.com, follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out my blog on YouTube where I share lessons that I've learned. Thank you for listening. Now go get creative.